Today for us to start doing some standing and some fighting to back that
up. I always have, man, is like, why do we always raise our children in these inner cities where all this stuff is going on when you can like live like my mom? She took me to South Carolina where I lived in, you know, the sticks with my grandparents for a while, and she was too broke to live in the inner city, so she left. And I'm looking at other families that's broke and they live in the projects, and I'm like, what's the difference between like you living in the projects and you broke versus living in the country where you still might be broke, but you have a little bit more like, you know, access, community might be a little bit more better. So what y'all think about that?
That way, I definitely want to chime in. So there's a few factors, right? So there was a mass migration of African Americans from the South during the 1920s, right? So African Americans left the South and came up to the North. One of the reasons why African Americans left was because of racial, injustice in the South, like lynchings, stuff like that, and then also for better like opportunities.
You mean like the Mississippi, Chicago migration type thing? Like how all those people from there's a lot of people from Chicago that's really from Mississippi? Like that? Yeah,
exactly. Gotcha. And the same thing like for New Jersey, New York. A lot of our family is from like South Carolina, North Carolina, Georgia.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's because of the migration patterns that happen across country. Now, I think that today, and Black folks for a long time use the South to send our kids when things bad would happen. So like if a girl got pregnant and she was young, they send her to the South. If like
I got sent to the South.
Right.
You did.
I live with Marcel. That's how you know Marcel.
Right. I know.
That's been a part of like our culture for a long time. You know, at the same time, like there's been a migration of Black folks from the North back to the South, especially like Atlanta, big cities. What's that? Dallas, Houston. You know what I'm saying? A lot of Black folks been going back. You know what I mean? But it's some people that lived in the North that just love that northern like mentality, that northern like feel, right? I was born in Jersey. Like I ain't learned how to drive until I was like 20 something.
I know.
Take the
world, bro.
Right. See, people from the South don't understand that, right? But if you're from the North, you can understand taking a bus, taking a train. Like that's what you do. You know what I mean? To get around. So.
And I feel like as far as like the communities go, like, you know, like a big part is giving back, man. Like more people need to come back and give back. That's the bottom line. If everybody who made it out, every athlete, you know, athletes touch on their communities. They do food drives, they do little things like that. But if everybody really came together and gave back, I mean, as much as they make it like all the struggle and all that in the poor communities, there's a lot of wealth in the Black communities also. That's not.
I know.
And then what you said about getting out, it's like Shaka said, man. Like my mother will not leave New York. She will not leave no matter what. She just doesn't understand what life outside of New York is. She don't understand not having buses, not having trains. She's 80 years old and never drove a car in her life, and she never will. She doesn't have any intent because she was raised in this. And you got to think in a lot of these inner city cultures, they live off welfare. You're given just enough to do everything you need to do. Just like if you work a 9 to 5, a regular 9 to 5, you're given just enough to pay your bills, eat, and stuff like that. So it's kind of hard to plan to move somewhere else to a better community, you know. And if you say your mom did that with you, she had the wisdom to do that. That's you can't expect everybody to have that wisdom because everybody's trying to get out of their own situations instead of thinking about what's good for the next generation. They're busy trying to still catch up from slavery.
Is there a way to encourage people to at least see what's out there? Because honestly, it ain't gonna hurt nobody to live in another state, especially now with people like states that legalizing certain recreational drugs. Like if you like to smoke weed and you live in a state where it's not legal or it's not really appreciated, like you could easily just move to another state like Colorado, Washington, Oregon, California, and go to stores and it's just like buying sodas at a gas station. And so like
I did. Move to Colorado for the
Look, you want more Black folks to go to the South, they need to bring back Freaknik, you know?
Yeah, that's a way.